Like and subscribe to get more content of your favorite subreddit. Am I the asshole for buying my daughter her own Nintendo Switch after her older step-siblings refuse to let her play? My wife has a son, 12, and a daughter, 14. They are not biologically my kids. Our daughter, 7, is, however. For Christmas we bought them the Switch. To be clear, it was for all three and they opened it together. This was their first gaming console. All the games we purchased had multiplayer function. We also gave each kid their own controller. Christmas Day things were fine. They all played together for hours. The day after, life resumed. My wife flew out to her dad's for his surgery. As I went to work each day, both older kids were to keep an eye out for the youngest during the remainder of Christmas break. I'd come home from work to find the two playing, while the youngest sat quietly. Obviously upset though. I'd ask why isn't the youngest playing as well. I would responses like, in a minute, or, this level is too hard for her. Most the time, they'd give me a bunch of hot air without a definite reason. One evening a huge fight broke out after the two paused the game and walked away. The youngest determined it was finally her turn. When they found her, all hell broke loose. I took the console away. The next day I told them they could have it back when they agreed to let their sister play. Several days later I come home and find the youngest in her room crying. They made her do all their chores. In return she would be given 15 minutes to play the game. Only, they didn't hold up their end of the deal after she completed the chores. I discovered this wasn't an isolated incident. They have been bossing her around every day and using the console to manipulate her. I was livid. This was a gift intended for everyone. She shouldn't have to earn her time to play and then be given a ridiculous time restraint. I took the console away completely, but realized later this wasn't fair for the youngest who did nothing wrong. I decided to buy her a system. Just for her. I saw this being the only fix to eliminate the problem. The older kids got their system back and I explained their sister now has her own. Everyone seemed fine. Things in my opinion worked out great. That was until my wife returned home. The older kids told her how I've shown obvious favoritism for the youngest. They don't think it's fair the younger gets to have a console to herself. And in her bedroom. Their console has been in the living room since Christmas morning. They argued they should each have their own consoles so they can have them in their separate rooms. 2. To be clear, the youngest needs her system in her room or it would defeat the purpose of buying another one since the other kids use the living room TV. Even after explaining to my wife what had happened, she agreed it was a form of favoritism and that I should have made the rule all three play or none at all. Like as if they'd actually obey that rule when I wasn't home. Currently, they're barely speaking to me and said to fix things I should buy a third console. I'm kicking myself for buying the first one. ETA. I'm not sure why so many are baffled over the fact that the older kids were asked to keep an eye out for the youngest. That simply meant, as they know, call if there's a problem and I'll be right there. They were not expected or asked to do a single thing for their sibling, other than picking up the phone and calling me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more content of your favorite subreddit.